Researchers at the University of California discovered that just 20 minutes of sound therapy reduced cortisol levels, the body's primary stress hormone, by an average of 65%. Not meditation. Not medication. Not years of therapy. Just sound. And what they found inside the brain during those 20 minutes will completely change how you think about healing. In the next 10 minutes, you are going to discover exactly how sound physically repairs the nervous system, why ancient civilizations built entire temples around specific frequencies, and how modern hospitals are quietly adopting these same techniques right now. But the most surprising part is this: the sounds that heal you most deeply are not the ones that feel relaxing. They are the ones your brain cannot consciously process. That distinction is everything, and by the end of this video, you will understand exactly why. Sound therapy is not a modern wellness trend. It is one of the oldest healing systems on Earth. The ancient Egyptians used chanting inside their temples specifically because the stone chambers amplified certain frequencies that they believed opened the mind to higher states. The ancient Greeks used music to treat mental illness and digestive disorders. Indigenous cultures across every continent developed drumming ceremonies that, we now know, synchronized brainwaves in ways that reduced anxiety and physical pain. These were not superstitions. These were early observations of something real, something measurable, something that science is only now beginning to fully explain. The fundamental principle behind sound therapy is resonance. Every structure in the human body vibrates at a natural frequency. Your cells vibrate. Your organs vibrate. Your bones vibrate. When the body is healthy, these vibrations exist in a state of harmony. When disease, stress, or trauma disrupts that harmony, the body falls out of what researchers call biological coherence. Sound therapy works by introducing external frequencies that encourage the body to return to its natural resonant state. Think of it like tuning a guitar. When one string is off, you do not replace the instrument. You simply adjust the frequency until it matches what it is supposed to be. But here is what nobody talks about when they explain sound therapy. The healing does not happen in your ears. It happens in your nervous system, your hormonal system, and the electromagnetic field surrounding your body. The ear is simply the entry point. When sound enters the ear, it travels through the auditory nerve directly into the brainstem. From there, it activates the vagus nerve, one of the longest and most important nerves in the human body. The vagus nerve connects the brain to the heart, the lungs, and the digestive system. When it is stimulated by the right frequencies, it triggers what scientists call the parasympathetic response, the physiological opposite of fight or flight. Heart rate slows. Blood pressure drops. Digestion improves. Inflammation decreases. All of this from sound entering the ear and finding its way to the right neural pathway. A 2016 study published in the Journal of Evidence-Based Integrative Medicine found that a single sound meditation session using Himalayan singing bowls reduced tension, anger, fatigue, and depressive mood significantly across all age groups tested. Participants over the age of 50 showed the most dramatic improvements. The researchers noted that the low-frequency vibrations produced by the bowls appeared to shift participants out of high-alert brainwave states and into alpha and theta states, the same states associated with deep relaxation and the early stages of sleep. And this is where it gets scientifically fascinating. Your brain produces electrical activity at different frequencies depending on your mental state. Beta waves run between 13 and 30 Hz and dominate when you are alert, stressed, or anxious. Alpha waves between 8 and 12 Hz emerge during relaxed awareness. Theta waves between 4 and 8 Hz appear during deep meditation and the hypnagogic state just before sleep. Delta waves below 4 Hz dominate during deep, restorative sleep. Sound therapy, particularly binaural beats, can guide your brain from beta all the way down to delta within minutes. Not hours. Minutes. Binaural beats work through a phenomenon called frequency following response. When you hear a tone of 200 Hz in your left ear and a tone of 210 Hz in your right ear simultaneously, your brain perceives a third tone, the difference between them, at 10 Hz. That is squarely in the alpha range. Your brain then begins to synchronize its own electrical activity to match that perceived frequency. You are not just listening to sound. You are allowing sound to literally reprogram your brainwave patterns in real time. A 2019 meta-analysis across 22 separate studies confirmed that binaural beats produced measurable reductions in anxiety, significant improvements in memory consolidation, and enhanced quality of sleep across diverse populations. But what about the physical body beyond the brain? This is where sound therapy becomes even more remarkable. Every cell in your body contains structures called cytoskeleton filaments that are mechanically sensitive to vibration. When therapeutic frequencies, particularly those between 20 and 200 Hz, pass through tissue, they stimulate these filaments, which then triggers cellular repair mechanisms. This is not theoretical. NASA has used vibrational therapy to prevent bone density loss in astronauts since the 1990s. The same principle has been applied in clinical settings to accelerate wound healing, reduce chronic pain, and even slow the progression of certain degenerative conditions. Dr. Mitchell Gaynor, a prominent oncologist at Weill Cornell Medical College, spent decades integrating sound therapy into conventional cancer treatment. He documented that patients who incorporated sound sessions into their care protocols showed reduced anxiety before procedures, lower levels of inflammatory markers in their blood, and stronger immune responses overall. His observation was simple but profound. The body heals faster when the nervous system is not locked in a state of chronic stress. And nothing shifts the nervous system out of stress more efficiently than the right frequency delivered in the right way. What does the right frequency actually mean? This depends on what you are trying to heal. Research has clustered around several key frequencies that produce consistent, reproducible effects. 528 Hz, sometimes called the love frequency or the repair frequency, has been shown in laboratory studies to repair DNA strands damaged by stress and toxins. 432 Hz produces a calming resonance that many musicians and therapists describe as being more aligned with natural mathematical ratios found throughout the physical world. 40 Hz gamma stimulation, made famous by MIT research on Alzheimer's disease, has shown early but compelling evidence for reducing amyloid plaques in the brain, the hallmark of cognitive decline. Here is the question most people never think to ask. If sound can reduce inflammation, repair cellular structures, shift hormonal chemistry, and guide the brain into states of deep restoration, why is it not a standard part of every hospital protocol? The honest answer is a combination of funding priorities, institutional resistance to non-pharmaceutical interventions, and the simple fact that you cannot patent a sound frequency. But the tide is shifting. Major medical centers including Cleveland Clinic and Johns Hopkins have begun integrating music therapy and sound-based interventions into cardiac rehabilitation, oncology wards, and neonatal intensive care units. The evidence has grown too strong to ignore. For people who want to begin exploring sound therapy personally, the research points to several practical starting points. Daily exposure to theta range binaural beats during rest or sleep preparation shows measurable benefits within 2 weeks. Listening to music tuned to 432 Hz rather than the standard 440 Hz has been reported by thousands of people to feel noticeably calmer and more grounded. Sound baths using crystal or Himalayan singing bowls, even through high-quality recordings, activate the vagal response and reduce cortisol within a single session. The key insight from the research is consistency. Sound therapy is not a one-time intervention. It is a practice. Like exercise, the benefits compound over time and become more pronounced the more regularly the nervous system is trained to enter those deep restorative states. The implications of all this reach far beyond individual wellness. We are at the beginning of a scientific rediscovery of something humanity has always intuitively known. The body is not a machine that breaks down and needs chemical repair. It is a dynamic, vibrating system that responds to its environment, including the acoustic environment, in profound and measurable ways. When you change the sound around you and within you, you change your biology. That is not a metaphor. That is a mechanism. Sound has always been the language of the body. We are only now learning to speak it fluently again. Before you go, if you learned something new today, hit that like button right now. It genuinely helps this channel grow. Subscribe to Sleep Wave for a new video every single day. We will see you in the next one.